I will be showing you guys how to trade what's in the other chart of a correlated asset and how to find protected lows when there's SMT present. So what I mean by that is if there is SMT at key areas and one correlated asset took a low and the other one didn't, then you want to be trading the stronger indice or the weaker indice. And what I mean by that is you can trade what's in the other chart, and I'll show you that in this example that I took on Friday. But more importantly, we have to outline the higher time frame analysis. So what I was looking at was this 15-minute original consolidation, and I'll make that red because it's a little easier to see. And I was still looking only for long setups. I didn't care about the move to the downside. I was looking for a long setup. So we had 10 o'clock news on this day on Friday. We had 10 o'clock and 8:30 news, but we just sold off in the morning. And so I was looking for some kind of reversal. I was expecting this to be manipulation, and it was. So here's this 10 o'clock candle. This is ES. You can see that is a big manipulation wick to run out sell stops, and then it closed all the way inside of all the lows, which is a very good sign. You can see that this is what happens when you get a real turtle soup. You're barely in drawdown if you ended up buying one of these lows. You can see 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, you're at a drawdown. So we have two run-on stops, this short-term sell side and this 15-minute liquidity pool. We have a low-risk buy put in right here. Why is this a low-risk buy? We have a change in the state of delivery right here. Here is our CISD. And we also created a market structure shift. You could either choose this high or this high. If you're newer, I would wait for this high. And this is also a breaker, or this candle is a breaker, either or. But I would use this candle because this candle is inside of this one. So you can see that the low risk buy is respected. Price comes up, delivers into a premium of this discount range, and then returns back into sell stops, right? So for context, you're not expecting this low to be taken because it was the low that was created inside of the low risk buy if you were continuing to be bullish, right? So if you're looking for a turtle soup, I would have looked for these two relatively equal lows right here. And you can see that's exactly what happened. We swept that, and if you go to a higher time frame, you can see that we're kind of just bouncing off this order block, and that's exactly what happened. So that is our context. That is why I was bullish, and what I was expecting was this high to be the draw on liquidity up here. And these internal highs that were inside of this high all got taken already, but I was expecting this high to be taken because NQ still had a draw higher as well. And normally if you have this one of these highs inside of all these relative clustered buy stops, this high will be your next draw on liquidity. And like I said, I was still bullish today. So I was really expecting this 8:30 news candle high to be the further draw on liquidity, which is up here. So this is what I mean when you can anticipate certain lows to be protected and how to trade what's in the other chart of a correlated asset. So what I was looking at here was this 1 minute fair value gap. You can see the bodies are telling a story. This is at 1050 here. So we have that 1050 to 1110 macro as well. And we have our draw on liquidity, which is this red line. So what I was looking for was to see a reaction inside of this and how what would happen after that. So you can see that we had some displacement higher, creating this order block. Why is this an order block? Because it created a fair value gap. So let me mark out the order block as well. Here's our 1 minute order block and our 1 minute fair value gap. And so this is what I mean when you are trading what is in the other chart. We had the same thing on NQ. We ended up bouncing from that same lower area down here. You can see after we souped this low, we ended up delivering into a premium fair value gap, which was on the 2 minute. You can see here. Delivered back into internal sell side, and inside of this breaker, which I'll mark out so it's easier to see. You can see the bodies, the candles are telling the story, right? Everything is closing inside of it, which is a good sign. But here's 1050 as well, and we created that same fair value gap, and this is also an order block. But what I was looking for was NQ to run this low, and ES, this is at 1056, and here's 1056. So I was looking to see if NQ would run this low and if ES was not going to. So you can see the reaction is the same thing. We get this big wick of a tail on this candle, and the same thing here on NQ. The only difference is that NQ runs this low, which now creates SMT, and you can see ES fails to take this low, which is bullish SMT, and that is when you can anticipate this low to be untouched if we're going to continue higher, which is our drawn liquidity. So as soon as we got this wick and I saw NQ ran this sell stops, I market bought in. I got filled at 33.75 and my stop loss was just right here at this low, just because I was giving it a little more room to breathe. You don't have to be cool and be a Twitter trader and put your stop right here and jam it to your position. Just be expecting this low to be acting as it should stay untouched. This low should stay untouched before we deliver to some form of liquidity, which was this 1 minute high. So really good sign. After we got this wick, we created another fair value gap and one here, and you can see price respected both these PT rays shortly after delivering us into our short-term buy-side liquidity. So this is exactly how you can understand and feel confident in knowing if the low or high should stay protected or not. If you can see the reaction on both candles at 1056, you can see that they had the same reaction, but one failed to take the low, which is why I was taking this trade as well. Same thing from earlier. You can tell that ES was much more unwilling to go down, unlike NQ. It was struggling a lot on Friday. So it was a lot weaker. But SMT plus trading what's in the other chart is an absolute cheat code. I hope this video taught you guys something, and I'll see you in the next one.